This is Yohhamgambal. We're back playing Shadow Hearts. Last time we just escaped from a town. We were being chased. We met a new character named Margaret, and we also fought Mr. D for the first time, who took possession of a dog. But we're in the air now, in an airplane, escaping from the Japanese army. Seem to be seeing something of Yuri's flashback here. That appears to be Yuri as a child with a fox mask on his head, and I'm presuming that is Yuri's father. You can see the resemblance. He does look a lot like Yuri. Just a little more refined and clean cut, but definitely looks a lot like Yuri. So Yuri comes from a small community, it seems, even possibly a farming community where they all had to pitch in together to survive the harsh winters. Cause I'm a man. You just gotta love how earnest little children are. I can tell she's sad. She's not like us, Dad. She misses you. Oh, well, that was a nice stream. And that's a terrible sound. Oh, we're still in the airplane from last part. How can he sleep in this situation? He's a growing boy, Margaret. He's sleepy. Let the man be. Oof. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, it's pretty amazing you're alive. Never. Yeah, you didn't think that hunk of junk would crash? Well, to be fair, it did get us this far, so it wasn't a complete waste. It is true, you didn't die. Anyways, if you come down here, you can get a lottery ticket, which again is always good. You want to get as many as those as you can because they do run away very quickly. If you talk to this man over here, I believe you can also win a lottery ticket, but it's very luck-based. Anyways, this man has lost his turtle in the pen, and if you help him find his turtle, he will give you a lottery ticket. I mean, I think that's one of the depending on how many searches it takes for you to find the turtle, you can get different things from, I think, mana leaf to terra leaf. It just depends on how long it takes you. Unfortunately, it takes me kind of a lot of searches to find him, so I don't get the best out of him, and I'm pretty sure he can give you a lottery ticket. Again, I'm not 100% sure. I feel like I've gotten one from him, but I could be remembering the pier. But yeah, there's a couple different places I believe he can end up. And I'm pretty sure you actually want to walk, because I think if you run, you can actually squish him, if I remember correctly. Like, I feel like that's a thing that can happen. And I think the next one is where I find him. No, okay, so next one I find him. I know I find him real soon. There he is. Got him. Let's give it back. And you can do it again with him tomorrow, I believe, and you can get more items, but there's really no point. It costs like $300, so it's not like an expensive thing, but yeah, it's not. If you come over, yeah, if you come back tomorrow, if you come over here to the left corner, you can actually find another item. It's kind of hidden though. There you go. A Talisman of Luck, which of course helps revive. I think that, yeah, that revives your character from unconsciousness. Anyways, here we are in the little boat town. Oh, you got ghost troubles. I guess fair enough. Nope, just got here, but I heard that there's ghosts. Anyway, if you come over here, there's a hidden item. It's a tea set. It's a tea of healer, and this is this can actually be kind of helpful in the beginning of the game because you don't have a lot of HP or MP, but it does heal your MP and HP by a little bit. And I just love tea in general. So yeah, that's a decent item in the beginning of the game, but obviously that's not very useful as you go further on. Okay. Wanna not be outside when it's dark. Gotcha. Can't even dry fish properly. I know, what is the world coming to when you can't even dry fish properly? Pollution, Captain Planet thing. Don't bother the sea mother. Okay, well, let's just head into the end. Not like we can do anything else. Might as well rest while we figure out what we're gonna do now that our plane has crashed. We've been hearing a little bit about this curse, but now we get to see it in action a little bit. Oh. Listen, Yin Yan's older brother, I don't think this is going to turn out very well. Gurgle, oh god, those are not sounds you want to hear from a loving one's body as they die. Now that's some serious malice. Oh, and he's gone. Seems like this Lily person is causing a lot of distress to the fishing community. But not our problem. We're just We're just passing through. Hopefully we can get through this town without being scathed by this, what appears to be a curse affecting the townsfolk. Okay, I wasn't going to talk to you anyways. Jerk. Oh, okay, I just did talk to you. But, yeah. So if we go downstairs, we can buy some armor, which is nice. And some weapons. I don't think there's anything new, though. But this is a place we're going to want to remember because it is actually important for a very special one-of-a-kind item you can't get anywhere else. And if you miss it now, you never get a chance to buy it. You never get another chance to get it. And I actually did miss it the first time I played this game, and it's a really important item for Yuri. Anyways, you can buy the hexagonal staff. Unfortunately, none of our characters can use it, but we did meet a character in a couple parts ago that did use staffs. Makes you think, doesn't it? Anyways, there is some new equipment we can get, like leather vest and leather skirt. Of course, the leather skirt will be for Yuri. No, he can't wear the skirt, but he can wear the vest, which will increase his defense a little bit. And the skirt can be for Alice. Yep, give him that leather vest. Nice tanned hide of southern steer. Makes me feel strong. I'm gonna start cosplaying as Forrester from I Have No Mouth and I'm a Scream. Other than that, though, there's not much. So yeah, it's in the treasure chest right there with that really important item. We can go over there, but the little child will not let us in. So we will have to wait till later on. But again, if you don't get this item now, I'm pretty sure you can't get it ever again. I think it's a one-time done deal thing. So make sure you get it, because I don't think you can ever come back here again. So you need to make sure you get it now. Otherwise, you ain't getting it. Uh-oh. 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 There's a shiny person over here. It's a hologram card of a person. How do you know it's Lily? I mean, it's a good guess, but how'd you know? Oh, you're in the SMMR. ASMR. Okay, well, that's okay. I don't think my videos will give you what you need, but I'm sure there's others that will. Lily, I just suggest you find them. Oh, and she just thunderstruck our friend. That bitch! Oh, you're a jerk. It's the Sea Mother. Maybe she can help us. What can we do, Sea Mama? I kind of love that name, Sea Mama. I'm glad I hope it's not Roger Bacon. Wow, how'd you know? No, we crashed. Okay, that's a little cruel, but there's far worse things, I imagine, than just having different voices. Okay, I still think it's a little overkill. I mean, it sucks that your voice is now a man, but I don't think that's worth killing your father for it.
Ah, yes, I understand. I'll make this short. Okay. By the mercy of the blue dragon. No, it may have been a curse. Lily's pretty voice was switched with her father's gruff voice. And the only way to get her own beautiful voice back was for her to kill her father. Having fallen in love with an actor in a traveling troupe, Lily took my ceremonial dagger to kill her father. That's where we left off, correct? That's right. Give me the sharpest knife so that my father won't suffer for too long. Horrible, isn't it? Just thinking about it gives me the shivers. I still remember the horror. Lily's pretty lips spoke those horrible words in the gruff voice of an old fisherman. She didn't kill her father right away, though. She couldn't. Every night, she would go to her father's bedroom and stand beside his bed. She would lay the dagger on her father's bearded throat. But still, she couldn't commit the final act. She would just stand there in silence for a while. Then she would leave the room with tears in her eyes. Every night, the same routine. But actually, her father was not asleep. He was ready to die if it meant that his daughter would have her beautiful voice back. The daughter, standing at her father's bedside. The father, pretending to be asleep while his daughter places a dagger to his throat. My heart aches every time I picture the scene. And finally, the troupe was ready to move out of the fishing village the next day. Lily made up her mind and entered her father's bedroom again. But the bedroom was empty. Her father knew she'd leave the village with the theater troupe, so he thought, I'll send her off with a little something. And he had gone out to sea in search of some fish you could catch only on the night of new moon. But irony of ironies, that very night, a storm rolled in and the seas raged wildly. The next day, the sun reappeared and rose high overhead, but there was still no sign of Lily's father. It was just like that night some while ago. Then, as the sun was going down again, the debris of a fishing boat washed ashore from the crimson-red ocean. Everyone knew her father was dead. Lily cried and cried in despair. Now neither her voice nor her father would ever return. Her cries echoed all over the village, cries like a wounded beast. Oh! 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 The young man from the theater troupe went to Lily's house to console her, but she would not let him in. Of course, he never knew that the hideous cries coming from the other side of the wall were Lily's own. Late that evening, after the sun went down, the cries came again. Oh! 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 Lily's voice had grown hoarse from her endless wailing, making it sound even more fearsome. But then, another very strange sound joined in. Sloop, sloop, splat. Sloop, sloop, splat. It was like a wet, sloppy piece of meat slithering across the ground. The sound was coming from the harbor, and it was getting closer and closer. Sloop, 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 splat, sloop. And then the gulls started to screech too, perhaps because they wanted that meat. Sloop, shwee, shwee, sloop, sloop, splat, sloop, splat, sloop, sloop. The sound stopped right in front of Lily's house. Soon, the door began to open.
See, Mother! See, Mother!
You gotta love Sea Mama's narration. I love the sloop, sloop. Well, I never, aren't you rude? I like this guy's like, it's only because you're so beautiful, as he tips his Asian fedora? I don't know if there's a Chinese version of a fedora, is there? Oh my goodness, it's Zuzan. It's our Oracle Quack friend. He's like, I'm out of here. And drop the quack part, kid. From a certain large country, you mean America? Maybe she's Canadian. We can't trust them. I think that's Margaret's fault. Wow, Sea Mama, you're kind of pathetic, aren't you? I mean that in a nice way. You seem like a nice lady, but you're not very good at your job. But to be fair, Lily does seem to be a very powerful spirit, so I'll give you a break on that one, Sea Mama. Who cares about Lily? Like, I get it, that sucks your voice, but I can't feel that sorry for her after, what she's been doing to the townsfolk. You kind of lose your victim status when you start murdering other people because you have a gruff man voice. Well, I am most certainly with you, Zuzan. I say we bust it to them, Ghost. Thankfully, the town is very small, so we should be able to find it very easily. Sloop. I love that. Oh, it's that, it's the guy we just saw. I believe that's the same guy. How did he get here so quickly? She must be somewhere nearby. I've got terrible memory. Whoop, 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 whoop. We'll see a terrible memory. This is a nice office. Very spacious. I don't get why there's a cabinet in there. Not the cabinet, but the little table on the right side. And let me introduce you to Sergeant Chin. He's got a second brain in his chin. It's like a tinier brain, but it's still a brain nonetheless. Kind of like how Godzilla has a brain in his tail. He's got a brain in his chin. Or maybe a parasite. Either one, really. And with that, though, let's go ahead. Let's see how else. Okay, she didn't do it too well. Thank you, see, Mama. We're off. If we need to, we can buy some stuff from him, so that's always good. Thankfully, though, we do have Zuzan back, so we do have another fighter. Of course, though, you want Zuzan to be in the back because he. I really wanted to buy the brigand earrings because that makes money go up by 20%. Really good, but expensive. But we can get them for free pretty soon. So I just thought I wouldn't buy them right now. Anyways, though, we have Zuzan, which is nice. So that means we have more area of effect attacks. You're gonna want to though spend a little time getting a new demon here because all the enemies here drop a lot. The enemies here drop a lot of wind. Spirits for your graveyard, and we're gonna want to get that because the boss fight is earth, and the boss fight only takes damage to special attacks, so this will be actually beneficial. There's only like one new enemy here. The other enemies are just like frog gods, and that just gives you water, which is okay. Getting water would be good too. Anyways, though, the hexagonal staff we bought earlier, we're gonna give this Zuzan. Increases his magic by a bit, which is always nice, and not really anything to give him. Anyways, though, there is one new enemy we can fight. They're called water creepers, and they are indeed creepy looking. I don't like them. They're just Kappas, but gold. They're Kappa Oscars. I don't like them. Monsters that control water. They can bring on a drought or storm. Watch out for their friendly attitude. Yeah, they only have 55 HP, and they are wind elements, so these are the guys we want to beat up. And all they really do is give you a ring or ring status inflictions. That's what I'm gonna call it because I can't speak for shit.
Use some help here.
Wait. I love the graphic for the explosion for the grenade. Anyways, though, yeah. So Zuzan's still pretty good backup for right now. He actually does get a healing spell relatively soon, and it's actually a pretty good one. So that will be nice when he gets that. Yeah, I like how they like scratch their neck and then they just disappear. But yeah, with that though, that should give us enough energy for our wind, which is good because we're gonna need it. You don't need to use it. You could just go ahead and just use like either the Dark Fusion or the Earth Fusion, but I would recommend getting the Wind Fusion because it makes it a little easier. Plus, this is really the only time you're ever going to use the Wind Fusion. The Wind Fusion isn't really that great. I mean, it might be. Maybe it's actually pretty good, and I haven't been using it very well enough. But I've never really found it to be useful. And out of all the spirits, it's not a very great-looking one. There's one that looks uglier. I think the Light Fusion actually looks uglier, which ironically happens to be the tombstone next to it. So two of the ugliest fusions, I think, stuck together. It's not bad, I think, by any means, but it just doesn't feel super useful. I mean, I like its last fusion look. I think the last form of this fusion actually looks kind of cool. So yeah, it's a bird monster. It is wind, so using Raging Tiger will be most efficient here to get rid of it. It also has boobs, so there's that. So what it likes to do is it likes to use Falcon, and that just makes it go faster, which is useful. I think the speed ups are far more useful in the sequel games than it is in this game. In the sequel games, having your characters move faster is actually beneficial because you can actually see a timeline and see who's going to go next. So in that case, it's actually really useful. In this case, it's not nearly as useful, I feel. Plus, yeah, though, it's already done. Pretty easy. Soul of the Tornado. Alright, and so you're gonna wanna, gonna equip it would be good. So yeah, its Dancing Breeze though isn't too bad since it cures poison, paralysis, and confusion. So that's actually decent. But yeah, though, other than that, though, I wouldn't really say it's super useful. Anyways, just gonna get rid of the mouse, but no point in showing that because you've already seen it. I really do like, though, the effect, though, around their body, though. It is really, really great. And a Seal of Aura. Okay, just another item, always useful. I don't think I really use the seals very much. But with that, though, I do like the way it looks, though. It's pretty cool looking. But with that, though, we can go ahead and head towards the boss. And thankfully, this is such a small town. It's just right there. It's not like a dungeon where you have to chase it. It's just right here, which is really nice. And it's really easy to tell where the boss is, too. It's hard to miss. It's kind of a giant circle. You'll see it. There's the turtle pin, and there it is. So yeah, I recommend you have the Wind Fusion. You don't have to, but it does make this fight a little easier. What makes this fight interesting, though, is that physical attacks don't actually hurt it, so you have to use special attacks. So, yeah, make sure you have special. Anyways, what's interesting, though, is this thing is called the Yohhamgambal Wind, but it's an Earth type. It's not a Wind type. It's an Earth type. But it has 900 HP, and yeah. It's an Earth type, and that's kind of it. It likes to use... It does actually use Wind type... It does use one Wind type move that hits everybody, and then it uses an Earth type move. It has the Flying Stone. But yeah, though, just hit it with your special attacks, and it goes down pretty easy. This fight is a little annoying because we don't have Alice, so we don't really have a great healer with us. So we're going to have to rely on items. And Zuzan doesn't have his healing ability yet, so yeah. But it only has like 900 HP, and as you can see, we're dealing almost 100. It's really weird looking, especially its arm. It's like a noodle. It's like a bone noodle. I don't get it. I don't like it. But yeah, as you can see, Margaret took a lot of damage there, so that's a pretty decent attack. And Yuri might have to be careful because it is an Earth type, so Yuri will take a little more damage to it. But I was trying to get perfect. I keep getting almost perfect. The game's a little finicky on the ring judgment sometimes. Sometimes it looks like you miss and you actually get inside the ring still. It's kind of... Sometimes it gives it to you and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I could use some help here.
I kind of like how Margaret has a pink cell phone. It's kind of pink. It's like a Barbie cell phone. But yeah, though. Other than that, though, that's pretty much the fight. It is, it's not very difficult. But it really likes going after Margaret, though. Nice, got it perfect. Don't know why it's going after just Margaret. I mean, that's okay. It's fine. Unfortunately, though, Yuri's wind shear attack is taking a lot of MP. Because he doesn't have a whole bunch. So it is taking a bit. But thankfully, though, Margaret is kind of backing him up with some constant grenade throwing.
Yeah,
Only
I
thing
could
that's
use
kind of
some help
annoying about
here.
Margaret is her special attacks are probably the slowest, I think. Because she has to call, the item has to drop, and then she activates it. And here's the shockwave. I think that's a wind type move. It doesn't do a lot. Fairly not dangerous. But thankfully the fight is almost over. Look at him, he's wobbling. Yeah, and Yuri doesn't have any more doesn't have enough MP. But that's okay, the fight's almost over. I
Yeah, I
think
could use some help
Zuzan
here.
finishes the fight off. Spoiler. I just love that grenade effect. I think Zuzan has pretty slow attacks too, though. So him and Margaret, I think, might be tied. Or maybe there's another character later on we get that actually is slow too. Actually, I think they're all relatively the same, except for Yuri. I think Yuri's the only one with fast-moving attacks. At least for his level 1 fusions, because later on they get more complex. Especially his secret fusions. They have long attack animations. And I didn't really have to heal here, but I didn't know how close the enemy was. I didn't know if we were gonna die or not, so I just wanted to make sure we were safe. Which is always kind of more important than maybe getting another hit in. I do like the bird fusion too, which is kind of sad that you don't really get to... Again, that's something I think the sequel does better at, where you get to use a lot more of the fusions. I mean, there's some fusions that are really useful in the sequel game that you could probably use over anything else, but I feel like the other fusions have more merit than a lot of some of the fusions do in this game. It's really hard, though. Yeah, I don't know. There's some fusions you just stick to because you just actually, they're just more useful. But again, I will try and balance it out. But there we go, that's the boss fight. Pretty simple. And give me that. Yeah, I love that death animation. So good. And with that, Alice should be hopefully okay. The curse should be broken. Lily's curse should be done. Of course, we didn't deal with Lily. That wasn't Lily, but hopefully that will help with the curse and the monsters plaguing the area. Oh, Yuri's connecting the puzzle pieces. Oh, he's an ambitious boy. Yes, we can now go back to the restaurant and see how Alice is doing. Now that the curse has hopefully been lifted. But you know what though? I'm going to end the video here, and we will go ahead and see how, as I get stuck, and see how Alice is doing in the next part. So this has been Yohhamgambal. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Okay. Bye then.